going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Rated Critique for another off-season episode of pretty much non-news. But I want to shout out everybody in the chat. Look at this, man. I have not seen you before. Well, thank you, bro. Thank you for jumping in here, man. Thanks for jumping into the chat. Hit me up on Instagram, man, if you want to get a patch, which looks like this. Let me break it out here. Hit you up one of these, man. You can go ahead and stick it to your jersey, stick it to your hoodie, whatever. You know what I mean? Appreciate you for stopping in. And hey, Ray Love, man, salute to you, brother. Thanks for stopping in. Richard Lyon, my brother, thank you for jumping in. And Otis, what's up, bro? Then we got Steven. Thank you for jumping in here, bro. And then my homeboy OG. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Rated Critique, where we're going to go over everything that's pretty much happened throughout the week, man. I want to thank everybody for stopping in here. Let me go ahead and hop on over to OBS to where I can switch us on over and transition us to the backdrops I have made. Now, since I have been gone, we released OJ Howard first day of pads. The first round draft pick has now found himself unemployed, as I guess that he did not fit the scheme. Now, he was boasting earlier during his press conferences and whatnot that he loved the scheme, he loved the way everything was going, but obviously the coaching staff did not feel the same way about him, and he has now found himself in the unemployment line. So I don't know if he's been signed anywhere yet, but I do know that that means that we're only running with at least 3, which is like our main 3 anyway. I think we have 4 still on the roster, which is Michael Mayer, Jesper Horsted, and there was another cat on there. Man, I'm pretty sure that you guys know. I know Fotheringham, he'll wind up being a practice squad guy, but I know that there's a 4th guy in there. You guys probably know exactly who it is, but it's just, we're starting to free up room, man. We really are. We're starting to free up and starting to cut some of this dead weight. And you know what's going on, All Eyes, man, and OJ Raider, Arkham. But yeah, we got OJ Howard, man, and he's gone. So, and then we moved on into training camp. And lo and behold, did we not sign Chase Garbers back? Thank God that we're going to be at least having 4 quarterbacks, because I am still not sold on Brian Hoyer being the backup. As a matter of fact, I really do think that this mad move was made because everybody saw Brian Hoyer the first day when they weren't wearing pads and the way he was throwing the ball. They're like, man, get Chase Garbers back on the phone and get that dude back on the team. We are definitely going to need him, because I honestly believe that Hoyer needs to be playing more of a quarterback coaching role instead of wearing a uniform. So I think this is a good move. I'm real happy that Chase Garbers is back and he's out there on the practice field in training camp. So whether he winds up becoming the practice squad guy or not, I'm just glad that this organization retained him, because I'm just not sold with the quarterbacks. Now, we all know what's been, if you guys have been paying attention, I've been getting most of the news from Twitter, because that's really where they've been reporting training camp at. And Jimmy Garoppolo has been having a hell of a time, along with not even just Jimmy Garoppolo, all right, but the quarterback room as a whole, because everybody seems to be throwing picks, and this defense, I'm telling you, man, this defense is either one, they are absolutely beasting and they are putting up numbers like we've never seen before, or number 2, we could be having a lot of different issues on offense. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo threw 4 interceptions to Jacorian Bennett, Isaiah Polamau, and Robert Spillane. They had 3 picks this day, and then he ended up, the quarterbacks themselves ended up throwing 4 more interceptions. Amik Robertson, Trayvon Morig, Marcus Peters, all coming down with those picks as well. Aiden O'Connell was picked. Jimmy Garoppolo was picked. I'm pretty sure that Brian Hoyer was picked. Now, there's been a lot more interceptions going on this training camp than what we actually hear in years past with the previous quarterback we had. But we also hear news on, why that was. Jacorian Bennett, to me, is a dude that we should have, we definitely need to have starting, because he's one of our standouts at corner. But when it comes back to the quarterback, man, I just think everybody wants to throw shade on whether it's Derek Carr was a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo, or Jimmy Garoppolo was a better quarterback than Derek Carr. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than Derek Carr. But I also don't think that Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think what we are seeing offensively, because defensively, I think they definitely improved. All right? We've definitely got the right people in the right positions right now who are actually gelling very well together underneath this new system. And we have an offense who is literally not getting it yet when it comes to coaching to the players. Now, it's just like we've been harping all year. We harped on it all year last year. It's about, do these players, are they actually grasping the scheme? This scheme is extremely hard to get. And yes, Jimmy Garoppolo used to be the guy. He used to be the guy in New England who ran this scheme. All right, but it's been 7 years. He has been with the 49ers for 7 seasons, who run a West Coast style offense. It's not completely different than what New England runs, but it is different. The terminology is different. It's not all the same as it was in New England. So, of course, he's going to have misreads with his receivers. He's going to have misreads on what the coach wants him to do, because he's been so out of touch when it comes to this system for 7 seasons. And then on top of that, you got guys like Aiden O'Connell and even Brian Hoyer, who probably aren't doing that well either back there. So, I mean, we can literally judge it on the defense has either gotten a lot better, or maybe possibly that the wide receivers aren't running the right routes. Maybe they're not getting separation. Maybe the quarterbacks are not getting the right reads. Maybe the quarterbacks aren't understanding the terminology that Josh McDaniels is trying to explain to them. But that's the great thing about training camp, Raider Nation. This is where they can get all those kinks out. So if he wants to go ahead and throw 5, 6, 7 interceptions in training camp, by all means, get that bullshit out of the way before it comes week 1, week 2, week 3. Get all of it out of your system, because we're going to need mistake-free football when it comes down to it when the season starts, coming all the way from every position on this team. The defense has definitely improved. We're hearing that Amik Robertson, Trayvon Moehrig, we're getting picks. We got dudes like the rookie I was just talking about. He had interceptions that dropped off his hands, but on his first day, he got some interceptions, so our secondary has definitely improved. Amik Robertson's getting interceptions, dude, and I'm glad to see that, I'm glad to see Moehrig's getting in the mix, and Peters is getting in the mix. And I guess Epps is helping out, even though it's not coming out in the interception department. I actually feel very intrigued about what this new defense is going to bring, because it seems like that they're getting it. I know I can tell you this, man. If we're going to find out real quick, all right, on whether by game 1, if our defense gets smoked, game 1 against the Broncos, all right, our starting defense gets smoked, then we know that it wasn't the defense that improved. It was just that our offense is not getting it. They're not getting it scheme-wise. So anyway, this is the projected starting lineup from Paul Gutierrez. Our offense is going to start off with left tackle Colton Miller, left guard Dylan Parham, center Andre James, right guard Alex Bars, right tackle Jermaine Illuminor. All right, and that was through 7 training camp practices. Then we got tight end Michael Mayer, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Zamir White. Defense is going to be Max Crosby, Belial Nichols, Jerry Tillery, Chandler Jones, Divine Diablo, Robert Spillane, slot corner Nate Hobbs, Marcus Peters, Jacorian Bennett, Trayvon Moehrig, and Marcus Epps. Now, that right there is intriguing to me. I'm really happy to see that Jerry Tillery is going to be starting. And then we also got Byron Young back. So I wonder whose job's going to be on the line when it comes to him getting his reps. He'll probably wind up being a depth piece, a rotational piece to rotate in with Tillery. And it's, he's finally going to see it today, as reported by Q Myers from Locked On Raiders and also Raider Nation 920. It has been reported on by pretty much a lot of people in the league that Byron Young is ready to go. Now, Tyree Wilson is not, and they're not expecting Tyree Wilson for at least another 2 weeks. So we're still waiting on the arrival of Tyree Wilson, but it's good to see that we've got Byron Young making his camp debut today. And, I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm hoping that I'm going to hear more Jimmy Garoppolo news before I have to go live. But Jimmy Garoppolo is not there today. So, of course, we're not going to hear any more quarterback news because Jimmy Garoppolo took the day off. But Byron Young is back at practice. And, of course, there's a few other people who are taking the day off as well. So, anyway, I want to introduce to you guys, I'm going to be starting a Raiders Roundtable right here on this channel called the Pirates Bay Podcast. It's not going to be anything straight up new or anything that you guys haven't seen before, but it's going to be, people are going to be brought in here with a difference of opinion. We're all going to be able to talk amongst each other without talking over each other. It's going to be a very civil debate, conversation style piece, and we're going to be doing it on a roundtable style platform. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be dropping that. As a matter of fact, these are going to be my new schedule times for the season. Off season on Sundays, 6 p.m. is going to be the Pirates Bay Podcast. And then during the season, your post game will be on Mondays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. On Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time will be the Pirates Bay Podcast, where I will be inviting numerous guests over to come over and bullshit and talk with Raiders with me. And then your pre-games will be on Saturdays at 10 o'clock in the morning, just like last season. So anyway, Raider Nation, that's pretty much all I got lined up for you today. And I do appreciate everybody for stopping in and checking out this video, man, and checking out this live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications for more Raiders content right here on the Raider Critique, where we tell the truth with intensity and we don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid. Now, I did want to talk a little bit about, this quarterback situation. Do you guys think that we would have so many issues at the quarterback position if the defense was actually looking at a running back that they were actually scared of? Somebody who could actually change the game every time they've touched the ball? Because to me, it seems like that they're able to focus in on the pass, and that could be, and probably is, one of the major reasons that defense is having such success against our offense right now. And I'm just saying, do you guys think that could be a possibility just because Josh Jacobs is not there? That it could be, very, very stressful on Jimmy Garoppolo, kind of like what your boy was already been talking about. How if we do become one-dimensional, how any defense is going to literally be able to slam our offense apart. I'm telling you, man, that's I don't know if I'm right on that or not, but I know that it doesn't look too far-fetched now. I mean, 7 interceptions in the past 2 days from all 3 of our quarterbacks. And, hey, we still haven't gotten any reports today on how many picks were thrown. So, is the offensive line gelling well? I mean, from what I hear, Jimmy Garoppolo's holding on to the ball a little longer than he should. But are the wide receivers getting any separation? I see what we're getting for reports out there, but what we're getting for reports is really minimal compared to what most teams out there and most teams' fans are getting about their team. They've been real secretive on this crap. And the only time that you really ever see videos on YouTube or anything like that of them actually training, they're actually going through the exercises. You know what I'm saying? We're not seeing the 7-on-7s and the 11-on-11s. We're not seeing that. They're being very secretive with what they're releasing. And I'm just kind of wondering why. Now, man, I've seen quite a few other people jump in here, man. Let me shout all y'all out. All eyes on G, man. Thank you for dropping in, man. And then we got OJ Raider. What's up, brother? Thank you for stopping through. Arkham, my brother. It's good to see you. Let's see, anybody I missed? Anybody I missed? Oh, it's starting to trip out on me here. We got Apakasi, man. Good to see you, bro. Thank you for waking up and checking out this episode of the Raider Critique. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for y'all, man. I'm really trying to be more consistent with the shows. I can't wait for actual football to actually hit. What's going on, Raphael, man? It's good to see you. Art White, salute to you, brother. See, oh, there's Ern, bro. Salute to you, Ern. Thank you for stopping in, man. Sam Talking, it's good to see you, bro. But yeah, man, Raider Ben, what's happening, bro? It's good to see you. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm still going to be optimistic whether our quarterbacks are throwing picks or not. It was one thing that we did talk about last year, man, about how hard this offensive scheme and this offensive play calling scheme is very hard to really grasp. And, you know, I'm not going to fault him at that. It is training camp. I'm not going to overreact right now. You already know that if it's time that where I'm going to be sitting there waving the red flag and sounding off the fucking foghorn, you know your boy's going to do it. I just don't think it's time yet. I don't think it's time yet. I think that it should be very uplifting that our offense isn't able to really handle our defense, especially with all the playmakers that we know that we have on the offensive side of the ball. So, you know, I mean, I see a lot of these guys reporting about the interceptions too, man, and I don't see a lot of them reporting about the touchdowns either. So, I mean, that's another thing to keep in mind. They've been real secretive about all this. They really have. So, anyway, man, if I don't want to take up any more of your guys' time. Now, I would be giving away another one of these coins, but I've got 5 more coming in, man, and I've only got a couple more that I already promised that I was going to sell. And that's just basically to keep it going to where I can keep getting coins to come back in here to where it doesn't really affect my pocket too damn much. So I'm not going to be giving away a coin today, but understand I will be getting 5 more within the next week that I'm going to be actually giving away here on the channel. We're going to start lining them up for the preseason games. I'm going to give away 1 per preseason game when we get started. But how are you guys feeling, man? How does it feel to know that football season is finally right around the corner? Jack Kiddo, it's good to see you, bro. And what is that? Trey Tucker is him. See, I haven't really heard much about Trey Tucker, but I definitely would like to see more of him to make sure that he's actually going to be the guy that we're going to need stretching the field. You feel me? Because we're definitely going to need that stretch of the field. And from what I hear, man, Hunter Renfro's been balling out pretty well. But like I said, bro, there's so much news out there, and it's like negative and positive. You don't really know what to believe. I can say this. I'm not alarmed. I'm not alarmed, not yet. I'm not alarmed yet, man. I'm not even tripping. I would get this bullshit out of the way. Get Josh Jacobs back on the team, because I think Josh Jacobs is very much needed to help this offensive passing game work. All right? Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler need to come off their fucking high horse, and they need to go ahead and instead of giving us bullshit stories, because last time I was on here, I reported that they offered Josh Jacobs $12 million, but you know Josh Jacobs and his agent both rebutted that and said they never got or received any offer from the front office of the Raiders organization about $12 million. So who's lying? Who's lying? And that's one reason why I've always done this show. It's one reason why I've always kept this channel open, because that's what these motherfuckers do. Lie, 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 lie. They always lie. When in all actuality, we know how New England has been ran in the previous 10 years. They will take whatever they can at running back. They will pay as little as possible of what they have to pay and make a star out of their system. Dudes like a Sony Michel, who wound up getting contract after contract from team after team after he was a Patriot because he did so well in that scheme. Okay? They build running backs and send them off to go make money. They don't pay them money with the type of minds that we've got going on in this front office right now. You got to think of a New England mindset. They might be wearing silver and black, but that doesn't mean they're going to get rid of the red, white, and blue ways. You feel me? I mean, they're going to bring their red, white, and blue ways over here to the silver and black, and they're going to work it that way. And Josh Jacobs, obviously, to them, isn't worth the money. But from what I'm seeing on the field, how I'm seeing our quarterbacks throw all these fucking interceptions, you need to get Josh Jacobs on the field. You need to make that man feel respected and bring him back. And I don't care what you got to do it. I'm not saying break the bank. I'm not saying give the dude $20 million. But I'm saying, man, you had the option to pick up his fifth-year option, which was at like $8 million, and you let that shit slide. And it beasted him to want to fucking do better. Ends up ending the season leading the league in rushing. And instead of giving him a contract, or at least offering him something, instead of going out here and telling the Raider Nation that you did offer him something when you literally fucking didn't, okay? You fucking slap him with the franchise tag. And I understand, the running back market is not that expensive of a market. You shouldn't have to spend a shit ton of money for a running back, but look at all these running backs who are very good. They're really good at what they do, are all complaining about the money they make. All right? You got a dude over in Jonathan Taylor over in Indianapolis pretty much asking to be traded because Irsay doesn't want to pay him. And he's on a contract year this year. I'm just saying, man. It's that this offense will operate a whole lot better with Josh Jacobs in our backfield. And if you're going to offer him $12 million, really offer him $12 million. Really offer him $13 million. Give him some guarantees to where he feels like he's going to get the security that he's looking for, because that's ultimately, obviously, from everything he has said, from every tweet on everybody who's had some bullshit story about him, every time he's rebutted, he's basically said that he wants security. And he wasn't trying to change the market. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. But obviously, it's not in this new Patriots, Las Vegas, New England Patriots, Las Vegas Raiders way to pay a running back what, he wholeheartedly deserves. And I understand the analytics say that once a running back gets his first contract, he gets a decline. I think Josh Jacobs is worth the risk, and he's definitely worth the risk to take on that, just because he's the heart and soul of this team. He doesn't need to be running 38 times a game, but we are going to be fucked if Jimmy Garoppolo's got to drop back, or any of these quarterbacks have got to drop back 48 times a game. I mean, that's real talk, man. That's real talk. I mean, just whatever you got to do to get him in the damn... as a fan, get him on the fucking field. Please get him on the field. As a businessman, get him on the fucking field. Get him on the field. You make more money when you win championships. And you're not going to be able to win a championship if Jimmy Garoppolo's under duress all day long, or whichever quarterback we've got in the backfield all day long. Receivers not getting separation. Dudes not getting open. Ultimately having our quarterback hold on to the ball too long where he gets lit the fuck up in the pocket. And if they're focused on the pass, that's what they're going to do. And everybody's going to be covered. So, man, please. Please. And don't go off and reach out. And I've heard a lot of these other cats, man. Oh, we could go get Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor wants a shit ton of money too. What the fuck do we want that guy for when we have a homegrown back in Josh Jacobs who runs the style that we showed him, that we drafted him for because he fits us? Why would we want to change that up with somebody else who's ultimately going to cost about the same? All right, people want Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook wants money. Kareem Hunt wants money. Might be able to go and coax Ray Rice out of retirement if the NFL let him play again. I mean, because honestly, if you're looking to get somebody into the $6 to $7 million range who's going to be able to put up the same type of production Jacobs does, you're sadly mistaken. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. So, you know, the egos of this fucking front office, the ego of this front office really astounds me. It astounds me how they can be so fucking egotistical. And that's real shit. That's real shit, man. You guys should have made the right decisions. If it's one thing I can honestly say, they handled the Derek Carr situation wrong, because we could have got 2 first-round picks the year prior. They definitely handled that wrong. They handled the Darren Waller trade wrong. We should have got way more than a 3rd-round pick from the Giants. And they're definitely mishandling the Josh Jacobs situation right now. You know, I'm not going to comment on everything else. I'm not going to say that, you know, they did a terrible job in picking up Jimmy Garoppolo over Derek Carr. I'm not going to say that, because honestly, the jury's still out on that. Because we're not going to know how anything operates until these guys finally start to get it and they finally start to gel. And it's going to take more than just training camp to do so. That's why we have preseason, man. That's why we have preseason. So, hey, if it's your first time here, don't let it be your last, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications for more Raiders content right here on the Raider Critique, where I give my opinions as the truth with intensity, and I don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid. I normally don't try to sit there and base all of my predictions or anything I'm saying off of my emotions, but when it comes to homegrown talent like Josh Jacobs, I think that we do need to get emotional about that, because we are literally watching this front office piss away every good player that we had on this team a year prior. The ex-Nate Devontae and Max Crosby. And I just don't like the way it tastes. I don't think Zamir White's going to be able to put up the same type of production that Josh Jacobs has. So anyway, I've been going about 29 minutes, man. I'm going to jump on out of here. You guys have a wonderful Sunday, man. And remember, no matter what news comes out, man, try to stay as positive as possible. But also, don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid, man. These guys have been lying to us so damn long. We need to call them out when they blatantly lie to us. And they are blatantly lying to us when it comes to this Josh Jacobs situation. I hate to make this all about Josh Jacobs, dude, but, you know, there's just certain things you don't do to players who want to be here, who are homegrown, don't want to be anywhere else. These are guys, if anybody, Josh Jacobs should retire a Raider.